an offensive threat, a playmaking shot creator, and a two-way slashing playmaker. Those are the 3 guard builds I have on 2K20, and those I feel like are not only 3 of the best builds, but 3 of the most popular point guard builds on the game. You guys see me here on my offensive threat with a badge layout of 15 finishing, 20 shooting, 15 playmaking, and 6 defensive badges. I'll show you guys the best badges for my offensive threat, my new favorite build, my 6'5" two-way slashing playmaker, which I feel like is not only the best build after they took out the behind the back, but it's a build that a lot of people are starting to make. And you guys see right here, it has a badge layout of 11 finishing, 10 shooting, 20 playmaking, and 20 defensive badges. And the build I made on day 1 of 2K20, and what I feel like is the most popular guard build out there, the playmaking shot creator. What I feel like the best build is on the 3s court for shooting 3s. Like I said, I feel like it's the most common and most popular build out there. And it has a badge layout of 1 finishing, 22 shooting, 23 playmaking, and 4 defensive badges. I'll be going through all 3 players, my badge layout, explain why I use it. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, and let's get right into it.
I can't get you out of my mind, no. Said I think about you all of the time, yeah. Been imagining you all in my bed, whoa. Hey, cause you been running round in my head, yeah. Hey, I can't get you out of my mind, no. Said I think about you all of the time.
Alright YouTube, it's Quil, and I'm coming back at you with a new video, and I made this video one time this year, but kind of a different style. I uploaded one to showing you guys the best badges in the game for every build, explaining what they do. This time, like you guys saw in the intro, I'll be showing you guys my badge layout on all 3 of my point guard builds. First, my offensive threat, then my new two-way slashing playmaker, and then the build that I made on day 1, my playmaking shot creator. Now all I ask is to please smash that like button on this video. Let's try and hit 2,000 likes. I notice my videos don't really get that many likes, so please, all I ask, just support the video. Please hit that like button. It really helps me out a lot. And now what we're here for, what the video is about, my badges. Now first, the finishing badges I use in my offensive threat. If you guys have been watching this build since I made it, I've pretty much run this badge layout the entire year. Hall of Fame contact finisher. I shouldn't really have to go into detail with that. That's just making contact layups and getting contact dunks. Obviously, you want that, right? Fancy footwork and slithery finisher. I made a whole separate video on slithery finisher that went along with fancy footwork, showing how overpowered these 2 badges really are combined with each other, let alone just on their own. So if you didn't check that video out, go watch it. I think it's called like Slithery Finisher Turn My Offensive Threat into a Demigod or something like that. But just these 2 badges, if you guys don't know already, we all know how overpowered hop steps are in 2K20. Literally, you can be bumped, have no stamina, that you play perfect defense. And with these 2 badges, you tap X, you do a hop step, and then you dunk the ball or get an open layup. It's crazy. And then Giant Slayer Gold, you're 6'3", and Giant Slayer is confirmed to kick in on any player that is taller than you. So if somebody is 6'4", Giant Slayer activates, and it is rare that you go against another player that is 6'3" or below. So damn near every time you go up and somebody's near you, Giant Slayer activates. So that's why that's a really strong badge. I would put it on Hall of Fame if I had the badge points, but these 3 badges on Hall of Fame I feel like is a necessity. And then Giant Slayer Gold is my personal opinion. You can go Relentless, you can go Lob City Finisher. Like I said, I go Giant Slayer Gold. Now the shooting badges, I don't know how many times I've said this year, but these are the 5 shooting badges you need. I shouldn't really have to go over it, but I will really quickly. Quick draw, range extender, it's self-explanatory, right? You can use any quick draw, but I personally like Hall of Fame, especially with jump shot 98. Hall of Fame range extender, whatever you can max your range extender on, you put that on. So Hall of Fame. Hot Zone Hunter, the higher your 3-pointer is, the better Hot Zone Hunter and Green Machine are. So with the 87 or 88 3-pointer on this build, and obviously Hall of Fame shooting badges, Just obviously these are the two of the top 5 badges that you use, and then Hall of Fame Deadeye. This is the 5 badges you should always have on your shooting badges. Now you can make a case for difficult shots on this build on an offensive threat, but I don't fade. That's just not my game. I do not fade, so I wouldn't do difficult shots. You can also make a case for volume shooter, but like I said, I would just put these 5 badges on Hall of Fame. I think I've been rocking it like this since maybe the end of September, since the game came out. Without a doubt, how you should have your shooting badges. Playmaking badges. Now, I know you guys already noticed one thing. Nothing on tight handles. Since they removed the behind the back, the only thing that tight handles activates on is when you do your size up. And me using Steph Curry, I don't really use the size up that much. Talking about when you like click up on the right analog stick, like how you do the rhythm dribble or the Kobe size up. There's no need for tight handles anymore. So obviously gold unpluckable, gold quick first step, gold handles for days. These are the 3 like that you should obviously always have on. And then floor general over dimer, in my opinion. Everybody I've talked to would rather floor general than dimer. And then gold space creator, because since they took out the behind the back, I've used a lot more hop steps, and gold space creator comes in clutch and breaks the defender a lot. You can make a case for, I don't know, bronze bailout instead of, hold on, not quick first step, instead of gold unpluckable, but I'll get into that on one of my other builds. This is how I run my playmaking badges on my offensive threat. And then my defensive badges, gold clamps, you should always have this, whatever you can max it out on. And then intimidator silver, I used to run it gold, but I heard that there's no reason to have it gold. Silver is good, so I put that on silver, and then with 1 badge point left, I just threw my pick dodger on bronze. So that is my badge layout for my offensive threat. Now let me show you guys my badge layout on my new 2-way slashing playmaker. And my new favorite build, and a build that I feel like a lot of people are making and is probably the most overpowered 2s build now, the 2-way slashing playmaker. You guys see the badge layout, probably the most badges of any build, 11, 10, 20, 20. Just imagine this build at Legend, how many badges you would get. But the first thing you guys probably noticed is I shouldn't have to go over it, is I have the same exact badges on this build as I do my offensive threat, just 1 tier lower. All 3 of these were Hall of Fame my offensive threat, and Giant Slayer was on gold. I mean, if you guys watch that part, I shouldn't really have to explain it. You guys know these are the core 4 finishing badges you should have on if you are the ball handler. For shooting badges, now this is a little tricky because you only get 10 shooting badges, and quick draw and range extender I feel like is a must. Like I said, you can have your quick draw on whatever, bronze, silver. I wouldn't recommend going below silver, but I'd like gold. That's just personal preference, but you can use silver. Gold range extender, obviously. Gold hot zone hunter, this is really, really important. If you shoot in your hot zones, it will really, really just help you out, help you shoot better. And then on your last badge, like these 3 are the necessities. And then I've been trying out hot start lately. For the longest, I know people have been using green machine, but it was tested. Green machine is not worth it on builds where the 3-point or your mid-range is not high. It's just not worth it. It doesn't have a good enough effect. So there's 2 or 3 badges I think you can use. Number 1 is the one I've been using, hot start. If you hit your first shot, trust me, you should be greening the whole game. A lot matters on that first shot, but if you miss it, then the badge just becomes completely useless. Obviously, bronze deadeye, there's no negative toward using it. You can use that. And then corner specialist is really, really good for deep mid ranges, because if you guys didn't know, just a deep mid range in front of the 3-point line activates this. So these 3 would be the 3 that I would use, but like I said, I'm using hot start, and that's what I would recommend. Now you get 20 playmaking badges on this build, and this is what I've been rocking out with recently. Bronze unpluckable, I do not get ripped. I have not been getting ripped at all with bronze unpluckable. I recommend you just need it on bronze. Now bronze bailout, probably the best bronze badge in the entire game. I'm not lying, the best bronze badge in the entire game. Unless it's like one of those things where I'm going up with a dunk or layup and I try passing out and they're completely behind me, you're never really going to throw it out of bounds. This is really, really, really strong. And then silver ankle breaker, another badge that I've been testing out. I heard ankle breaker works recently. They've like made it work. I still have to do more testing. And then these four badges now I feel like are the four, you know, core essential playmaking badges that you should have max if you are a ball handler. Hall of Fame floor general, Hall of Fame handles for days, Hall of Fame quick first step have always been essential, right? And I feel like tight handles used to be essential. But now, with really limited dribble moves, you can abuse, you know, hop steps and do different size ups off of it. So Hall of Fame Space Creator has really been useful. I recommend putting that on. And now the defensive badges. I get 20 of them. And I run 5 Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame clamps is a must. No reason not to have this. Hall of Fame pick dodger. If you're playing 2s, 3s, you're guarding ball, no reason not to have this Hall of Fame. Now, I run Hall of Fame interceptor because on the 2s court, I am just a fiend when it comes to getting passing lane steals, inbound steals. And I noticed with Hall of Fame interceptor, you get some crazy animations that you would only get with Hall of Fame interceptor. So if you're like me and you really play a lot of passing lanes, take a lot of risks, Hall of Fame interceptor is really OP. Hall of Fame pickpocket, same thing as interceptor, kind of. If I'm ever losing a game, I'm always going to use all 4 of my fouls before I foul out. I'm always going to use them, so I'm spamming X. So Hall of Fame pickpocket comes in handy a lot. And then Intimidator Hall of Fame just makes people miss more stuff on you, I guess. Hall of Fame, there's just no reason not to have a Hall of Fame. You can have Tireless Defender, you can have Rim Protector, Rebound Chaser, Chase Down Artist. But these are the 5 I rock with, and my defense is really good on this build. Now let me show you guys probably the most popular build, the Playmaking Shot Creator. I feel like this is the most popular build in the game. The Playmaking Shot Creator, where it's just Hall of Fame shooting, Hall of Fame playmaking badges. A lot of people make this to, you know, run around screens on 3s, shoot a lot of 3s. And let me show you guys the best badges for this build as well. Now, you only get 1 finishing badge, and I ended up putting it on fancy footwork just to help out when you do hop steps. With 1 finishing badge, you're really not going to go to the paint that often, and when you do, it's going to be wide open. So, I mean, if you're going to put it on 1 badge, I would recommend fancy footwork. Now, 22 shooting badges. Like I said before, on every build, these should be the 5 shooting badges you use. These 3, Quick Draw, Range Extender, Hot Zone Hunter, obviously the main 3. And then if you do have Hall of Fame shooting badges, Deadeye and Green Machine, super important. And then just like my 2-way slash and Playmaker, I'm testing out Hot Start. If I hit my first shot, you'll never ever miss with this build. You'll hit contested. It's really OP. I'm telling you guys, this is a crazy good badge layout for this build on 3s, 2s, Pro-Am, Rec. Now you get 3 more playmaking badges on this build than the 2-way slashing Playmaker, and that's just because I maxed my playmaking on this build. And so the only difference on this build that I have on that is that I have gold ankle breaker, right? That's one big difference. Instead of silver, I have gold. Bronze needle threader, another really effective bronze badge, just like Balo, which I also run on this build. And then bronze Lob City passer, because if you're playing with this build, most likely you're playing with an inside center. So, you know, you want to shoot 3s and then throw a lot of lobs to them. So Lob City passer on bronze. And like I said, bronze unpluckable is good enough for a build with this high ball control, and then Hall of Fame playmaking badges. And then these 4, just like I explained on my last on the 2-way slash and Playmaker, easily the 4 best playmaking badges in the game now. You should always have these on Hall of Fame. And just like my offensive threat, I have really no defensive badges. Always max out your clamps to what it can get to, and then with 1 upgrade left, I just put on bronze Intimidator. So there it is, the 3 I feel like best and most popular point guards in the game. The only build I feel like I'm missing is the slashing Playmaker, which honestly I feel like the 2-way slashing Playmaker is just a way better version of it. I feel like the 2-way is just a better version of the slashing Playmaker, and there's no reason to make that. So if you guys did enjoy this video and this helped you out on any of your builds, like I said in the beginning, please smash that like button. I didn't want this video to get too long, but I did want you guys to know what badges are the best. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like, sub if you're new, and I'm out.